Hey, mystery lovers, it's Cage Taylor from the Nocturnal. I'm here talking to Aziza Scott, who plays Officer Tripp on Home Before Dark. The Apple TV Plus series surrounds a young journalist, a local town, and a fight for the truth.
How can I help you?
And then, so I want to start way at the beginning. Okay, so
Okay.
tell me a little bit more about you growing up, because I know you had a love of acting since the start.
So I grew up in Houston, Texas. I been loving the arts since I can remember. Starting off with like plays in elementary, and then I went on to college to study theater drama at Prairie View A&M University, and then I moved to LA shortly after that to pursue the film and television. But I do come from the theater world. Love theater.
So when did you know that you wanted to pursue acting professionally?
Like at 4, I have footage of being interviewed at 4 years old, and my dad asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I was like, "A movie star." I didn't know how to say actress then, but it's always been in my bones.
Is someone in your family, were they big actors or into drama or anything like that?
No, no, just I think at a very young age, I was like immersed into, or I just loved the imagined world. And I would have my pretend friends all around the house, and my mom she would just let me do it. Thank God she didn't stop me. But yeah, I think at a young age, I used to be afraid of Freddy Krueger. Um, she let me watch Nightmare on Elm Street. And I was terrified. I thought that he would get me in my dreams. And my mom explained to me at a young age that it wasn't real. And I didn't understand. And she said that he was an actor, that after, he does a scene, he goes and takes off his makeup. And I'm like, so he really doesn't kill people? And she was like, no, he's just pretending. And at a young age, I thought that was really cool. And since that, I was like, that's it. That's what I want to do. I want to pretend for a living.
And then so you moved all the way to LA. What was that like coming from the South and going to LA where, there's a lot of competition and everyone,
Mhm.
trying to get into the business and things like that?
I was scared. I moved with some of my friends. So I moved with my best friend. And I didn't know where to start. I had no idea. I didn't know if I had what it took. And so when I got to LA, I just got into some acting classes to meet people and form a tribe and get into some short films and things like that. So I was nervous, but I learned that you just have to push, because if you're not doing what you're called to do, it'll eat at you every day.
And do you remember what your first audition was or casting was when you first came to LA?
Yes. I I went in. It was a commercial actually. I went in, and it was like I knew what the director was asking me to do in the room, but for some reason I couldn't do it. I was too aware of just being there and in my head, and yeah, I walked out of that audition like, yeah, I'm not gonna book that. But it gets better. It does get better. But I remember my first commercial audition. He was telling me to do something, and I was just staring at him like, okay.
And then was there anything that kind of discouraged you or, made you question the whole move or, pursuing acting when you were in?
um, well, I mean, some people think that, acting, it's a slim chance you'll make it, or, you know, I had people tell me you need something to fall back on. Like, why would you pick up theater as your major? Um, but I couldn't think of a plan B, because it was just all I knew, all I wanted to do with my life. I love acting. So despite I just came on out. And I think the biggest thing that we have to overcome, or the biggest thing to overcome, is your own self-talk. Like, what do you tell yourself? And I know I started to write down things that made me nervous or scared, and then I took a red pen and then I crossed it out and then wrote a lot of positive things about myself, which boosted my confidence. And by that, I mean, it just encouraged me to go out and actually seek an agent and actually, get headshots. And so it's self-talk first, like knowing that you can do it and you are enough. So when I made a decision, or when I actually told myself, hey Z, you're enough, you can do this, everything changed.
Mhm. And then, so were you acting full time, or were you doing, other things on the side during that time?
Oh, I was a waitress. I think that's what a lot of people do when they move to LA. Yeah, so I was waiting tables, and I would do little projects with friends. We would have game night where we do improv. We play improv games and things like that. So I was still dabbling in acting, but yeah, I did waitressing, and then I did like side gigs. I considered myself a hustler in LA, like doing postmating and all those things. I did it all to support my dream.
And then what role did you consider your big break, that you knew that, this is.
Well, well, definitely booking Home Before Dark changed everything for me. Um, I did book a few things beforehand, and I really enjoyed. Um, oh, well, the first uh, thing I booked on TV was opposite Tay Diggs on Murder in the First, so that was cool. My first scene was with Tay Diggs. I was like, yes. So that was exciting, but definitely Home Before Dark has been the biggest thing, and I'm so grateful.
Mhm. And then, so tell me a little bit about Home Before Dark. What was it like working with Jim and Brooklyn and everyone?
Well, everyone, they're amazing. I came into it saying to myself that I would be a sponge to learn and to watch. And they're amazing on screen, but they're also really great human beings. I didn't know what to expect working with kids, uh, and I met Brooklyn at the first table read, and as soon as she saw me, she came and gave me this really big hug. And I was like, okay, this we're gonna make a great team. And yeah, it was easy on screen acting with her. It's like she was my little sister.
Hmm. And then, what was it like playing like a cop? Like, when people get into acting, they love, going to
Hmm.
those cop shows and things like that.
I didn't know what to expect. I was like, I don't know the first thing about being a cop. So when I booked the role, I actually went down to the police station, and I asked to spend a day with them to pick their brains and get to feel what it's like to be a cop. And so I stayed with them for a few hours and learned some things that I didn't know, and that kind of eased, my little anxiety. Like, can I be a cop? And it made it a lot better. So,
Yeah,
so yeah.
and then what was it like playing like a female cop on television, on, well, a series?
Hmm. I just went into it. Well, one, we have really great writers, so the text was just was easy to grasp. And I think the uniform helps, like having, the gun and all, got the vest and all that stuff, really helped me believe that, okay, this is real life. This is I'm a female cop. I'm in this environment, and, you know, believe in the circumstances. Like I could do it. So I think the uniform helped, and then it was just kind of cool to give a perspective from, being a female. And actually, when I was at the station in LA, I worked with some some female cops. So they kind of gave me their little take on how it is to be a female cop these days.
And then what was it like, being in this series where it's really the women who drive, the story and drive for the, mystery to be solved and things like that?
So cool. I mean, it's definitely a family dynamic. I mean, we have Dana Fox, Dara Resnick, and Joy Garman as like our leaders. They're so open, welcoming, and they made me feel like I can come to them for anything. And you can see it in the show. Like, it just has that female empowering like tone to it I'm blessed to be a part of.
Mhm. And then what was it like when you found out that it was going for season 2?
I I was excited. I was in the store shopping,
Hmm.
and I got the phone call, and I just started acting like jumping up and down in the store, and people were looking at me like, "What's her problem?" I was like, "Yay, we got a season 2!" So yeah, I was ecstatic.
And
And it's cool to see, like, now you get to experience where your character is gonna go. You have season 1, you have all these things that your character experienced, but now you get to take it to another level. So I was excited to see how Trip would grow, or how she would evolve in season 2. So
mhm. So we'll be seeing more of Trip, or more.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And then did you see yourself getting into crime and mystery, when you were still coming up acting wise? Was mystery
um
something you watched a lot?
I you know I I don't know. I think I just love to pretend. Like, whatever you throw at me, I'm ready to, you know, I'm ready for the challenge. Um, but I love drama though. Drama is my thing. So I think booking a show with mystery and drama was so exciting. So exciting.
Do you know how much trouble I can get in?
Don't worry, I always protect my sources.
Oh, what are you, Woodward or Bernstein?
What is something that a part of you that we see in Trip, who you are personally? Like, how did you bring that into Trip? Because you mentioned, watching Shadowing Cops, but, what part of that is you?
Um, I think she has a little sass to her.
Mhm.
I think that that's something that I wanted to bring, that down to earth feel when it comes to Trip, because she does have this relationship with a young 9-year-old. I didn't want it to feel like I'm authority, you're not. I wanted it to be more of a team, like we're on the same playing field. And I mean, I really can't take the credit because the writing was just really good there, but I think that um, I looked at Brooklyn as like maybe like my younger sister or someone. So I think like Aziza, I saw myself like, okay, this is how I would interact with my sisters. I treat them as my equal, even though I am, in a sense, I do have some type of authority because I'm the older sister. So working with Brooklyn, or Trip working with Hildy, I wanted to give that. I wanted it to feel like they were really close, and just have that down to earth dynamic, I guess. So I think that's probably what I brought to the character.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so thank you so much for speaking with me. I think that is all the time we have, and I, hope you
Thank
stay safe and
you.
healthy during this pandemic and everything.
You as well.
But